any answer I give right now is not a solution to depression. It's not a full solution to depression.
Yeah.
I empathize. I have experience with this, but I will never be the final stop here. So outside of that, so first off, we got the obvious things that can sort of temporarily boost your mood. Little things like exercise, making sure that you're sleeping enough and you're getting enough food and water. Because if you're not doing those things already, they can help. They're not the solution by themselves, but they do drag you down further if you're not doing them.
How do you get yourself to exercise if you're already depressed?
Well, it's pretty hard to get yourself to do everything if you're already depressed. So, and I empathize with this. I've been depressed basically off and on my entire life. Some periods much worse than others. But I guess when it comes down to it, I end up trying to set up little systems and force myself to do stuff. I don't want to do it. I'll say out loud, this doesn't matter. This isn't important. Nothing is important. But if it's not important that I do this and nothing is important, it's also not important that I don't do this. So I kind of just willingly will go through the motions of something that I don't want to do, that I think is pointless. Because sometimes, not every time, you can't always solve it every time, but sometimes going through the motions will sort of distract my brain enough with something else that I'll like find myself focused, ironically, or I'll find myself in a better mood. Because I thought going for a walk would be completely pointless, and I said, yeah, it's going to be pointless, but I mean, it's just as pointless as sitting here, so I'm going to go walk anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe it's nice outside. And maybe I find that the fresh air actually helps me, and I come back in a temporarily good mood. It won't last forever, but it's something. It's more than nothing. But
So like a big part is mitigation in the moment?
yeah. Well, I think thinking about the future is not necessarily a great idea. Rumination is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's a large part of depression, just thinking about how everything is bad over and over. And I've also got OCD, so I definitely think about everything over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But and sometimes you're just not in a good place to do something.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't be doing something at that moment. So maybe you should give yourself a break. Maybe you should try to do one of the things where you just force yourself to do it, and maybe it'll make you feel better. Actually, for a while, there would be times where I would start to feel really, really, really down, and I'd just turn on Breath of the Wild, put the pointer at a random spot on the map, and just kind of walk over there. It was like meditation. But it took me out of the real world.
Yeah.
And sometimes I need to be distracted from the real world by something else, and then I come back out, and like it's starting my day over. It's like waking up again. And the negative thoughts have been distracted fully by me meditatively playing a game. Sometimes it's the period of the day. At nighttime, honestly, I'm kind of useless. So winter's not great for me because it's nighttime faster.
Yeah.
But if I'm at home alone and it's nighttime, I will often find myself in just a really unhelpful period of like existential dread, or I'm ruminating on all the problems that I haven't solved yet, going out years in the future, which is very crushing and overwhelming. You can't solve years from now problems now.
Yeah.
So because of this, I just know nighttime, I really shouldn't try to force myself to do anything. I should focus on doing something that might distract me or make me feel better, spend time with Ashley. So I wake up at 5:30 because in the mornings, I feel good.
Yeah.
And I know it won't last the whole day. So I need to take advantage of that like unmessed with moment. Nothing has bothered me yet because I just woke up.
So you're getting up earlier to give yourself more time.
Yeah,
time that
it's like a
works for you.
fresh start. Nobody needs anything of me that early.
Yeah.
None of my stuff is due. Nothing has bothered me. I haven't read any upsetting news yet. It's 5:30. Nothing's happened. My brain is fresh, and that's often the best time for me. I would also say you should allow yourself to feel bad. Feeling guilty that you're not getting stuff done because you're depressed is a great way to stay depressed and to stay not getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Like it's not your fault. You can't just control emotions like that. You can't control chemical stuff if that's what's going on. Guilt is not going to help here. So it's going to create a feedback loop where you keep getting worse and worse. So just accept it. Wherever you're at now is the starting point. Like I said, sometimes just getting started on something, even though it seems pointless, helps. Like something as simple as a Pomodoro session on your work. I mean, even if I'm just sitting there for 20 minutes and I'm like, yeah, I'm just staring at this document. I'm not writing anything. But if I think of one good sentence in that, then the next time I try to do that, I'm a little bit farther, and that's better than just sitting around and getting nothing done at all.
Yeah, it's some amount of progress.
Yeah. And if you do get something done, if you do happen to accomplish something, it can help in several ways because, one, you get something done. Two, it's distracting you. If you get into the flow state, you're not thinking about other stuff. Mm-hmm. The depressing thoughts go away. Three, getting work done can build confidence and optimism and a feeling of self-reliance, which can start building a positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
And I guess outside of these things, which are really sort of in-the-moment solutions, because in the moment is the only time you're going to be able to fix things. Just, you can plan for the future when you're feeling good, but if you're feeling bad, focus on the moment first. You're not going to think good things about 5 years from now if you feel really bad. Mm-hmm. And outside of that, consider seeing somebody, like a professional. I see a clinical psychologist for my OCD, and I have progressed a ton in the last year. I was in a much, much worse place with it. And it's incredibly helpful. I never would have done it because I was stubborn. I'm very stubborn still about, like, I'll solve my own problems.
Yep.
I don't need this. That's an unhelpful mindset. Luckily, I did not want... I saw the OCD, if it kept getting worse the way it was, harming my relationship. And I didn't want it to do that, so I was willing to swallow my pride and accept help. And it turns out that was the right decision.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sucks. I'm stubborn. I get it. Mm-hmm. I empathize with a ton of this. But sometimes you just have to get the help anyway.
Yeah.
At least just try it a couple times. Just write it down and say, I'm going to talk to somebody 4 times. Mm-hmm. Just get yourself started.